이렇게? 말이 안 되잖아.
네.
뭔지 아무것도 모르겠잖아.
인사해 인사.
그게 범죄자 아니야? 취조하는 거 아니냐고.
아니.
Only open this exit for your instructor so kaya kailan.
살아가는 신세계.
뭔가 이거 엄청 맞아?
Yeah, we did all that we could. Some soul, someone meant to be together forever. Cause no matter how hard we try, we'll just live inside of a lie. Some days are bad while others are better. But nothing can save us now. The clock's ticking, the timer now. Let go of the questions, hold on to the lessons we'll take away from this. But give me just one last kiss, and let me make one more wish. I wish that I could show you a heart made of love, a heart made of promises. I don't wanna give us up, but I wish that I could show you a way out of the woods. I wish we had the answers, but we did all that we could. Song when you come home, I'm gonna miss the sound of having you around the house. We pack your stuff, label every box while waiting for your father. Then we make a joke about how we're gonna live without each other. Let go of the questions, hold on to the lessons we'll take away from this. But give me just one last kiss, and let me make one more wish. I wish that I could show you a heart made of love, a heart made of promises. I don't wanna give us up, but I wish that I could show you a way out of the woods. I wish we had the answers, but we did all that we could. Baby, I wish that I could. Baby, I wish that I could. Baby, I wish that I could. Yeah, we did all that we could. Baby, I wish that I could. Baby, I wish that I could. Baby, I wish that I could. Yeah, we did all that we could. We need to move on and get over us. Do everything we can to get closure, but it's not like we didn't try hard enough. No, I wish that I could show you a heart made of love, a heart made of promises. I don't wanna give us up, but I wish that I could show you a way out of the woods. I wish we had the answers, but we did all that we could. Baby, I wish that I could. Baby, I wish that I could. Baby, I wish that I could. But we did all that we could. Baby, I wish that I could. Baby, I wish that I could. Baby, I wish that I could.
아 보틀랜드는 여긴가?
여기가 자욱하긴 하네. 어떻게 하는 건데?
처녀 귀신 같다.
야 근데 이거 어떻게 열어? 아 몰라? 어.
그니까.
But your parents came in the cul-de-sac, leaned back in a leather clad seat, pack of spirits in your Prada bag. Suburban summer 17 was a roller coaster ride, a manic pixie dream girl right beside me, and she said she liked me, but I bet it was a right thing running about the wrong time. And I think maybe if I'd held on tight, she'd still be sitting by my side. I'll never know, I'll never know. I don't like messing with
2개는 안 돼. 3개.
헐. 가격은? 가격이 어딨어?
차를 나와야 될 것 같아. 그리고 걸어서 2분이래.
성노 다운타운.
바로 앞이잖아.
오늘의 유행할 음식 해냈다.
Sometimes in the morning light, I swear that I can hear you breathe. And if I keep my eyes shut tight and pretend you're next to me, oh, I almost feel like you're here with me. I can feel you there. I can feel a thing. Someday soon, if I'm good and tough, I'll almost feel like almost is enough.
그늘이 생겼다. 내려올 때 그냥 하이킹으로 내려올까?
하루 걸릴 때.
즐거웠다. 내려가는 건 괜찮은데. 손 봤어? 근데 뒤에 근데
안 예쁘지?
좀 뭐야?
아무도 안 읽었어. Sulphur Mountain.
진짜 높았다.
Whisper something I could hear. Away for the weekend, shooting a deer. We sit inside